Hello everyone, in this video we're gonna talk about Eminönü's history and beauties. The museum opened in 2008 and the İşbank Museum is dedicated to Turkey's first public bank and important chapters in Turkey's history. İşbank was founded in 1924 and mandated by Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. The building itself dates back to 1892. In Ottoman Empire, the building was originally used as a post office before being taken over by the bank in 1928. After the other branches opened in Istanbul, the building opened as a museum in 2007 and contains various objects, documents and photos from the bank and Turkish history.
History of Yeni Cami begun by Valide Safiye, mother of 3rd Sultan Mehmet in 1597. The mosque was designed by the architect Davut Aga, a pupil of Sinan. The chosen site was then a poor neighborhood the inhabitants were paid to move out. Construction initially dragged on for several decades due to water seeping and funding problems. Then stopped completely when the Sultan died. Safiye was no longer the queen mother, so she no longer had the revenues or power to support the project. The mosque was completed by another queen mother, while the Sultan Turhan Hatice, mother of 4th Mehmet. History of Spice Bazaar. This bazaar started to be constructed in 1597 upon the instruction of Safiye Sultan, wife of 3rd Murat and mother of 3rd Mehmet. The construction was completed 67 years later in 1664 upon the instruction of Hatice Turhan Sultan, mother of 4th Mehmet, by architect Mustafa Aga, within the complex of the new mosque.
The width is the same in every shop of Grand Bazaar. There were specific masters of specific products, guild in each street, and competition was strictly forbidden among the sellers. A craftsman even couldn't work on his products at the stands in the middle of the crowd. No higher prices would be held on the products other than the government's designation. Grand Bazaar is very crowded the whole day. The sellers instantly call the visitors to their shops. Today, the large and comfortable shops at the main entrance provide every kind of the manufactured and exported handmade articles in Turkey. The handmade carpets and jewelry are the finest example of the traditional Turkish arts. They are sold with their quality and guarantee certificates and can be delivered to everywhere around the world. The famous Turkish silverware, copper, bronze souvenirs and decorative objects, ceramics, onyx and leather goods are all make up a rich collection along with the carpets and jewelry. The Western writers have written a lot about Grand Bazaar on their travel book and memoirs.
The foundation of Grand Bazaar was laid in 1461. It is one of the unique centers in Istanbul to be visited with 60 narrow streets in 40,000 square meters giant-like labyrinth and more than 3,600 shops. Grand Bazaar was in Eminönü, Istanbul. It's a covered site that reminds of a city which was developed and agrarian years. There were 5 mosques, 1 school, 7 fountains, 10 bores, 1 stream, 1 public fountain, 1 water tank, 18 doors, and 40 installed recently. The circle of the 2 old dome-covered buildings with 15th century thick walls has become a shopping center within next centuries by covering upper sides of the Blossom Street and adding new features. Once upon a time, it was a morally respectable trade bazaar with certain crafts in each of the streets and the manufacture was strictly under control. Every kind of precious fabrics, jewelry, Turkish delight, guns and antiques were sold by the expert families with an absolute confidence. Although it was restored after the several big fires and earthquake at the end of the last century, unfortunately, it lost some of its characteristics.
In the past, Rose Jane was made here. So the name Gülhane Park, used as exterior garden of Topkapı. Due to its historical structure, it has been found that there is a system within it as a result of the research. The park has two doors, Sarayburnu and Istanbul. It is one of the most important resting places of Istanbul. As a result of the history of the park, plants have undergone major change over time. There are over 19 kinds of trees. Some of those horse chestnut, butterfly bush, laurel, cherry.